All right, hello, and welcome to the track from scratch course. I was planning to record this video earlier. I actually recorded how I made the loop and everything that you can see here, but I was retarded and I accidentally deleted the video. So I'm making one just walking you through the loop that I have created. So it's almost from scratch. I'm still gonna show you how I did that, but it's gonna be a little bit faster. It's like not as boring as if I would have started from scratch. So let me show you all the elements, and then we'll just go by step. I'll show you how I did the track, my thinking process, how I started, and so on. Before I start the project, I'm gonna show you the reference here, and I really like this track. Some of the elements, I wouldn't say like I love it, but it's kind of interesting. I wanted to make this like a bit psychedelic kind of track, so I'll show you a little bit from here. And that was the initial inspiration. So I stole some of the elements. Time. 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 So I really like the lead. I kind of like the vocal. This part, it feels like a bit soulless, like it's lacking some of like the soul. It's like, I don't know, something is off. Like I don't like this part.
Okay, fine. I'll see you in my mind. I'll find you when the lights turn down.
It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's maybe too robotic. I don't like, maybe because it's on one note, but I just don't feel this exact moment. But this drop is pretty cool. So that was the initial inspiration, and I'm just kind of gonna try and not really recreate the track, but yeah, just use it as inspiration. So that was the inspiration. Now let's talk about the loop. I'll play you the loop, and then from here, I'm gonna walk you through the elements. So this is the loop that I have created, which is a bit different, and it's going to be like very different, but we're going to use the reference for inspiration and the arrangement. And then let's do like... Yeah, that's it. That's all I have created. I have played around a little bit here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this stuff or not, but this is like a pre-drop with some atmospheres. It is not like really that important and that interesting. It's, yeah. Let me walk you through step by step the main elements, what I did. So let's start with the kick and the bass. I'm gonna use real phones just because it's really nice. I don't like these headphones too much, the way that they sound like. Let's just hear how it would sound on on... Yeah, like this is pretty cool. You can hear it's pretty nice. So how I usually start a track, I always start with a kick, bass, and drums. I don't know, I've been testing different methods, I've been testing different approach, but that's so far the best way to do it. So if we go here, this is the kick. For the kick, what I'm using, wait, what happens to you? Okay, so here we have my kick. I made it. It's the type of kicks that I really like, and this is my yeah, signature type of kick. If you solo, it's really nice, it's really minimal, you know, kind of simple, deep, and I have a full tutorial on this plugin, so I'm gonna link my YouTube video here in the course as well. And I don't want to talk too much about that because the video shows everything. I just like designing my own kicks how I want, so it's a bit different to the reference, but we're going to be referencing still because that's also important, you know. So what else? Yeah, Let's talk about the bass. So we have some variations. We do have a little bit of variations, which you can copy here. So the bass line looks like this. It's a pretty trancey kind of bass line. With the velocity, I haven't yet decided if that's gonna be like the final thing. Maybe not. Maybe it will. I don't know. But this is the key of the track. It's the same as the reference. And we're just gonna go step by step. All I have on my bass here is just the sidechain, right? So we could do like this. It's gonna be really heavy, pumping. How you want, right? Sometimes you want to have something more like this. Sometimes. So you can experiment with that. Let's say if you want like 650, right? We can play with that. But let me walk you through the sound design. So we're gonna loop this section. And here we go. So let's disable all the stuff here, right? Distortion and the E key. Let's start with the thing number 1. So the envelope. For the envelope, it's really important to understand how long is the kick and how long is the bass, right? So in this case, let's use Sub Ninja. Right, so you can see here, I'm gonna play you the kick. Sorry, the bass first. So we have the mid information, which is like the top, and this is the sub, like the low frequency. So it's up till like 150. I like this plugin. So it shows us the waveform. I like to use it. Again, can you trust this? Probably not. Like, you should use your ears. Do not mix with your eyes. You want to mix with your ears. So for the kick, if I just play you the kick is relatively short, right? It's kind of medium. It's nice. It's minimal. I like it. And then once we use it with the bass, let's use a little bit of filtering. I start with a super simple saw waveform. Here we have the envelope. It's pretty plucky. You want to make sure mono and random to 0, because you don't want to have your sub restarting from a different phase every time, because that's going to cause some phase issues. We don't want that. Okay. Next thing that I do is going to be the filter. So for the filter, we are using envelope 2, which is a little bit different. You want to have a little bit of tail here, and it's going to sound like this. Plus, I have the velocity. So the velocity is controlling. You can either do like half 5, right? And then notes as well could be nice. Let's do -3. A little bit of dry, fat, resonance, and then you can do filter key track. It's also nice. It kind of follows the key. Maybe it's the same thing as this one. I don't know. Legato, did we really need it? I don't know yet. Again, you can have it. I just like having that. Okay, but it's like a pretty standard analog. Let's use this one. You can use different waveforms. I like this one. And then I was playing around and found this one. It gives a little bit of extra flavor on the 4-hour bass. And you can do like a lot of cool things, maybe if you want to do. This could be quite nice, right? And then if you want to take it further, we can put the envelope here. I think it is a little bit to remove. Let's use the LFO instead. I'm gonna show you some sound design. Again, I'm just experimenting here, not trying to. I don't have any like plan in mind, right? It's just like the review video, so you understand my thinking process. I just like testing stuff. And from here, let's go. You can do BPM. Let's say But you know what, I like. So we can have a little bit of stereo width. Or you can just have, like, again, a basic waveform. I kind of like it like that. Around 42. You can detune it if you want. Not this one, but not the semitones actually. No, that was the right one. For some width if you want, to give it slightly analog vibe. And in the studio, also pay attention to how this sounds. You want to kind of play with the kick and the bass. You want to test what works, right? I think it's pretty good, right? So the kick is nice. It's not too clicky. It's not too. It's just like well-rounded sound. Okay. So for Serum here, I decided to use a bit of distortion with down sample, which is like a bit crusher, essentially. And then you can assign this. You want to have these little modulations because this is what really makes sound interesting. I'm just gonna blend a little bit, and that's it. Flat resonance. That's the starting point. You can play with filters as well. I like keeping this stuff really simple. And then from here, if you're using the same kick drum plugin, if you want, we can maybe 185, stretch this a little bit. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do anything to the kick yet. We're just gonna do copy, and we're gonna test which one works best. So 175. And you want to have like a really consistent, really like balanced sound. That's it, okay? That's pretty good. Okay, the next important thing for the track is the loudness. So how loud should the kick and the bass be? There are a lot of like videos about that. Like, bro, just trust your ears. How do you like it? I was testing on my speakers, and first it was more like I do have a bit of compression though, like already, without the compressor. Try achieving a good and balanced sound without anything first. And once you have a really good balance for your kick and the bass, you already have this, like, the engine for the track. Really nice, really punchy, really powerful. And you see, it's so simple. So the next step is going to be the EQ. So I did this little ninja trick. So I'm assigning envelope 3 on the EQ, so it boosts the highs a little bit. It's like a little bit of transient shaping, but inside the it's really cool. I like it. You can use LFO as well, it doesn't really matter. Kind of like that, and that's it. That's all I really want. I'm not gonna do anything else that's not needed. I would rather do some external processing like on the channel here. And then the sidechain. So for the sidechain, you can do like this if you want. Again, depends on the track, right? I kind of like this plucky sound. Let's do the drums. For the drums again, I'm gonna put another video here because I did like a full tutorial. Don't want to repeat myself. Let's listen with that. So right away, I want to do some dynamic EQ shaping. So let's do Pro Q3. Kind of want to boost a little bit on the mids. Because it gives slightly more power to the... And then instead of cutting here, I usually try to just compensate with and then we can cut like a little bit on, I think 150 is good. That's it, like it's really soft. Maybe a little bit like this, a bit of dynamic shaping, and we can do not the low shelf though, but the high shelf. Okay, just a little bit like this. Focus on the mids. This is why I really like and then this is why I really like real phones, because I can focus here on different systems, right? So we can do ooh, such a good bass. Maybe a little bit too much, but we can compensate with compression. I'll talk a little bit more about that soon. Now it's good and balanced, right? So here, let's play a little bit with this. That's it, right? And you can see I'm making stuff really simple intentionally because I lost a lot of years, you know, trying to figure this stuff out. Okay, next thing which is really important is going to be the envelope, right? So how short should the... I like automating this stuff, but let's say like a baseline here. You should give this like bounce back and like this, right? Just look at what I'm doing here, right? It should bounce back and forth, like it should give you this pump, because the kick and the bass are like the engine, and the hi-hats. The hi-hats more like it's the part which is like making the track go up. The kick is pushing down. It's like up and down, up and down. It should be like a synergy, like yin and yang, if I can call it this way. It's like a piston in the engine, right? It goes back and forth. That's what we want to achieve. So a bit more release. Maybe a bit more attack. I really like, you know, soft hats. Would you have a bit of swing already? And then same on the bass line. Right? It's really important to understand this. And one thing that I'm noticing on like maybe the a little bit shorter decay time and a little bit short, like 120, And this kind of sound is like a bit psytrancey, but I just felt like I want to make this kind of track. Could be melodic techno, by the way, so it's... And let's disable... Really nice. That's a good starting point. Because, look, why I'm using real phones so much, I'm basically just making the track in real phones because headphones, they don't show you the dynamics. Ideally, you want to use some sort of speakers. Right? That's cool. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be good enough. Hope it makes sense with the drums. I do have a bit of sidechain compression already. Let's do this as well. I like manual. We can select tight. Really like this compressor, by the way. Do auto. I'm gonna use this. Okay, let's not listen too much because we have to move further with the track. Let's do the claps, okay? One by one. I do have just one at this point. And sometimes it's really more than enough. Again, it's the same logic as with the hi-hat. Let's do a little bit of EQ here. Yeah, you can see it has a bit too much low end, so I would cut around 100. And let's listen on different systems. Let's focus a little bit more on the mids. Right, so we could do a little boost here. Let's do dynamic. I don't know, I just like dynamic EQ. Could do like this. A little bit. You can hear if I solo. This is the frequency that kind of pushes the track, pushes the piston in the engine together with the kick and the bass. That's like what we want to achieve ideally, right? So we can do like this. Like you can really hear that. I'm gonna exaggerate this a bit. Right? You can see how it supports the... And we can do just the mono, so the mids. Gives a little bit of clarity, or like, I would say the low end on the clap. Just a little bit. We don't need to do like. Kinda want to boost the top by a little bit. And maybe cut a little bit here. Because it's a bit too present. Kind of like unpleasant one. And then let's do a little bit like 3-4K, a little boost on the... It's either gonna be the mids or the top. Excuse me, not the mids, I mean stereo. It doesn't have a lot of stereo, but maybe a little bit. No, it has a little bit. Really simple, right? Want to do simple moves. Nothing extraordinary. And again, this one should be mid. Actually, let's do a dynamic EQ here. Gonna mute my mic for a second here. I'm gonna make a little pause and I'm gonna see you in the next video.